Hi, I'm natekokernot. Welcome back to my channel. If you've been following me here for the last couple of weeks, and you've taken everything I've shared about emotion so far together as a whole, you may begin, over time, to integrate it into your own understanding about what emotion is and about the dynamics of this inevitable aspect of the human experience. You now have most of what you need to develop a stance towards them, which I would call grace. Grace has become one of my favorite words over the last years. If you had to boil down what a graceful attitude towards emotions looks and feels like down to one sentence, it might sound like this. Everyone, including me, is doing the best they can with the beliefs that they are currently holding on to. In the Teacher's Manual for A Course in Miracle, there's a list of the traits of the teachers of God. First of all, before I frighten anyone away from ACIM or my channel with the G word, I'd like to share this passage that comes shortly before that list, which identifies who a teacher of God is. Quote, "They come from all over the world. They come from all religions and from no religion. They are the ones who have answered. The call is universal. It goes on all the time and everywhere. It calls for teachers to speak for it and redeem the world. Many hear it, but few will listen. Everyone will answer in the end." End quote. The traits of the teachers of God are described in Section 4 of the Teacher's Manual. They are trust, honesty, tolerance, gentleness, joy, defenselessness, generosity, patience, faithfulness, and open-mindedness. Collectively, they add up to grace, at least in the way I see it. Let's pick out some nuggets from the past several videos and connect some dots. From my last video, called What's Really Happening When You Take a Pause, I explained that when we get triggered emotionally, the limbic system simply does what it was designed to do when faced with a threat, either real or abstract. It automatically takes over the driver's seat in one's decision-making in the moment. Reason and logic, which are formed in the cortex, our newest evolutionary step, are not accessible to anyone when big emotions are present in them. I said that the cortex effectively gets unplugged, so the limbic system, the seat of fight and flight, can take full charge of the situation. When in this state, we will often forget the tools we have that might serve to de-escalate a situation, like defenselessness, for instance. That forgetting isn't a sin, it's just a mistake. Continuing to practice mindfulness will eventually help us remember to take that pause, and it will make us less prone to impulsive reactions due to these big emotions. But we're all going to make a lot of mistakes along the way. They're just mistakes to be forgiven as quickly as possible. Whether it's our mistake or the other person's, it's still just a mistake. That's grace. We've all made millions of them. That's okay. That makes us human, not sinners. If grace enters in, then we will recover more quickly. The realization that the limbic system is essentially our unconscious mind, and if we go one step further and remember that our mother, our father, friend, or lover, when they are becoming the emotion rather than witnessing to the emotion, they are unconscious, and therefore they're not acting from an intentional place. We might recall what Jesus prayed as he was hanging from the cross. "Forgive them, Lord, for they know not what they do." That was a demonstration of grace in the most extreme circumstances most of us could imagine. If we take the two presentations of mind describing the two sides of the same coin, respectively, your emotions are about you and their emotions are about them, you can begin to see many pearls within them that lead further towards grace. By the way, if you click on my name below, you can find a playlist titled Emotions, which includes all the videos I've made on this subject. So if we take the stance that this other person's emotions are indeed about them, even if they mistakenly place the responsibility for them on us, we can see through the mistake and connect with the compassion, which will allow us to hold on to an image of them that is innocent. They are doing the best they can. With the other side of the coin, we can extend the same attitude of grace and forgiveness toward ourselves when we make the same mistake. I myself am an Aries, and we're known to have emotions, especially anger, flare up just really quickly, like bellows to a small fire. feeling guilty about it isn't going to make the emotion go away, but rather it will further complicate the emotional experience I'm having, thus making the sensations all the more uncomfortable. This hits on a subject I learned about somewhere in my graduate school education: secondary emotions, or how we feel about how we feel. There's no sense in feeling guilty for feeling a certain way. It's not going to fix things, but exacerbate them. It will make the fire rage on. I'm suggesting that grace and forgiveness are the most optimal secondary emotions to strive for toward emotion, and when we fail to find the grace, we get another chance to forgive ourselves and those around us, and keep trying to develop that grace. Seeing it as a mistake will make it easier to apologize for the mistake later when we've returned to a calm state of mind. If we feel guilty instead, trust me, the guilt hot potato game will take over instead, and we will wobble between feeling guilty for our part in the interaction and finding other people to blame for our deficiencies. I have a video on the hot potato of guilt. You would just need to scroll back further to find that one. Likewise, when considering the other side of that coin, that their emotions are about them, then we can predict that if we feel guilty because we're feeling responsible for someone else's charged emotions, the same guilt and blame game will unfold, and we won't be able to apologize. Lastly, if we consider the idea that charged emotion is really about feeling unsafe, we can enhance the feelings of empathy and compassion towards anyone who is experiencing them in a bigger way. Alright, that's enough. If you're finding these ideas helpful, please like and subscribe and comment below if you want to share your ideas with me. Also, you can find my articles at Substack, where my tag is @natekokernot, or you can find my website, miraclereadiness.com, where both the videos and the articles are available to peruse. Thanks again for joining me here, and have a beautiful day.